Welcome everyone to my 2026 in the bag. We are here with the Renu Ecopack 2. That is what I'm carrying all year this year. Really looking forward to carrying this bag. It's super lightweight, very durable, made from recycled material. This blue part is sailcloth. Yeah, not much else to say about the bag. Got your pretty standard components. You got your big side pockets, nice top putter pouch, phone, wallet, keys can all go in this pocket. 2 water bottle holders, the usual stuff. Very comfortable and very lightweight, and the durability is awesome because I am traveling all over the world to play disc golf, obviously, and that comes in handy when you're chucking this thing up in airport carry-on luggage and dragging it all over the airport, and then you still got to go out and play for a full day. It's very lightweight on the back, so I'm not straining any muscles, and I have all the energy I need. Let's dive into the accessories real quick. I got a couple resistance bands just for warming up, always very important. Got the marker, tape in the off chance that I injure myself or something like that, just get a little scrape on the finger, can tape it right up, finish the round real quick. Other than that, towel, water bottle. You can put an umbrella down in the side pocket. Oh, chalk, little dry fly chalk right now. I work with various types of chalk, but I try not to use it too much, but it comes in handy in the warm and humid weather. I guess we can dive right into the discs then. We've got the putting putters, Nexus Pro AVRs, big bead AVRs. We've got a more stock stamp, and then I've got the Jessica Weiss stamped putter. This one was given to me by a friend in Finland. Shout out to him, been a very special putter for me over the years. Been able to perform very well at Worlds last year and also won the Australasian Open putting this guy. I am rotating a couple new ones in the bag just so these don't get too beat up. But yeah, Nexus AVR, really great grip, especially on this Jessica Weiss version, but overall the grip is a little bit between the stiffness of KC Pro and Yeti Pro. So it's nice for the warmer weather, it'll hold up, but it's not too slick that I can't deal with it in the colder weather. So yeah, great putters. I do have another one for throwing. This is for nice turnover shots. I don't throw as many forehand approaches, but this is where that comes in handy. Just very nice, slow turning shots all the way to the right. Nexus AVR beat in. I'll rotate a few of those throughout the year as they kind of cycle themselves and beat up a little bit more. And then overstable throwing putter. This is, again, mostly for backhands. We've got the OTB Open version of the Envy. OTB, new sponsor of mine this year. Really looking forward to playing the event out in California, as well as just all the other events on tour, but thanks to them for their support. But yeah, OTB Open Envy, they have a ton of different Envies, but this one is a soft Prism Proton plastic, flies nice and straight, overstable, does what you want out of a throwing putter. Last putt and approach sort of disc, I have this Zone, Discraft Zone. Pretty much the staple as far as forehand approaches go. You can take it, put it on some nice forehand, backhand lines, fights the wind really well, overstable. Not much more to say about that guy. Mid-ranges, let's move on to those. I only have 2 mid-range molds in the bag right now. I have this sweet OTB stamped Buzz. This is a glow Buzz. Really looking forward to throwing this. I haven't yet. I'll throw a clip in the video of it, but it should be nice and straight like any Buzz. I'm hoping to beat this one up pretty quickly so it can kind of become my more understable version of the Buzz, but I'm really working on throwing my mid-range angles very well this year. That is kind of one of my new goals, so I don't have a super flippy mid in the bag right now, but might need to cycle something in. I have an old Rock 3 I might throw in there, something of that nature, but at the moment trying to work with just the Buzz. Speaking of the Buzz, the Big Z Buzz. This version of the Buzz is absolutely spectacular. I remember throwing this back when I first got into throwing the Buzz. Yeah, I switched to the Buzz this year. Really excited about this plastic. It's nice and durable, grippy, but slick enough. It like just has the perfect amount of grip. The Big Z plastic is really my favorite as far as the Buzz goes, and it just goes so straight. It's a little more overstable than some of the versions of the Buzz. I guess like ESP plastic would be more in that realm of understability. So the Big Z holds up nice, still flies really straight. Excited to keep throwing that throughout the year. The other mid-range, I have the Trash Panda Canyon. Don't know if you can see that stamp, but nice little ghost stamp. Very nice disc. Nice and overstable. Doesn't go quite as far as the Buzz, so I'm really focusing on approach shots and wind situations with this disc. I've occasionally tried to use it for forehands, but not something I'm super comfortable with in the first place, so we'll stick to throwing it for backhands, but a little more overstability in the buzz. Slots in real nice right there. All right, on to fairways. This is my favorite disc to throw, the fairway driver. The Leopard 3. This has long been a staple in my bag. If you know me, I've played in the woods of Wisconsin for a number of years, so the Leopard 3 has helped me learn those hyzer flip and late turning lines with the backhand. Very, very crucial disc. I think this disc should be in every player's bag. It's getting a little less use from me right now. It flips a little bit earlier than it used to when I had a little less arm speed, but still very good. Late turning shots, breaking to the right. I can throw it for rollers if I need to. Not really something I use a lot, but that's kind of where that slots in. Then we've got this Anthony Barella T-Bird 3. One of my favorite runs of disc ever. I think this is from 2021. Color glow plastic, super straight, slight overstable start to this disc when it first exists, but I have most of mine beat up real well, and they fly kind of what my Leopard 3s used to fly at when I was throwing them a little bit more. I can hammer this, get it out to 400, 430 feet of distance. It flies a lot of lines in the woods, similar to what that Leopard 3 would have done years ago. And it's just really reliable on that straight to like slightly understable turning line, those hyzer flips in the woods. Does exactly what I need, and I love that disc. Barella has since switched to Discraft, and he made the Sagara, and this Sagara is in the, what is this, Jawbreaker Z Flex sort of a thing. Whatever, Ledgestone edition. Got the little caricature of AB on the skateboard. That's kind of fun. But this run is particularly overstable for a Sagara. That disc tends to fly a little bit more like that T-Bird 3, so if I ever lose that, I might just slot in a more stock Sagara, but this one has a little bit more of that bite, and it flies like that T-Bird 3 sort of started as. And I have 5 of these or so in the backup spin, so I'm really excited to throw this disc a lot this year. Has those straight lines, that overstable finish in complement to the T-Bird 3. A little farther shots, we have this Tour Down Under stamped Boost MVP disc, or Streamline, I guess. They're single mold technology, but yeah, really excited about this disc. Nice and overstable. It flies like an old PD did. Very reliable finish to it, but you can still get some nice distance out of it. It falls in that like hybrid fairway driver distance, so I'm pushing this a little bit farther than that Sagara or the T-Bird 3. But also it has a little bit more of that fade and reliable finish. Then my overstable slots. We have a Draco here, got the Calvin Heimberg stamp. This is the Thumber disc from New Zealand. I won the Australasian Open, obviously, earlier this year, and this disc threw that Thumber on hole 2. Really excited about continuing to throw the Draco. It's a very good disc, reliably overstable, but not such a meat hook that it can't work lines and shape flex shots and hold different angles. So very workable both forehand and backhand. I throw it a lot in both those situations at that like 350, pushing up to 400 on the backhand sort of line. Then we have the overstable counterpart. I've got a Fireball, Axiom Fireball. Great disc, nice and overstable. It does what that Draco wants to do in no wind. This thing does in as much wind as it can handle. This is a very overstable disc of that mold, I would say. I've thrown some other Fireballs and they're, you know, a little straighter, but this thing is an absolute tank. Absolutely great for reliable shots in the wind. And yeah, I'm mostly throwing this backhand in super windy scenarios or forehand where I really need to put maximum torque on the disc. Let's see, all right. It's a bit of a utility disc. I'm learning to throw the flippier roller a bit this year. So we've got the Avenger SS here. I'm trying to learn to throw flat and then let the disc roll rather than having to get on the anhyzer angle immediately. So that's what this thing is for. It goes really far for rollers and without that much effort. I think for lower arm speeds, this is a great beginner disc, and you'll really find some good distance out of something like this. So a good thing to add to the arsenal if you don't have it. Now we get into the distance drivers. I'm gonna go to I have 3 molds of distance drivers. We're gonna go to the Destroyers first. All these are Calvin Heimberg Tour Series. I love throwing Calvin Heimberg Tour Series. I have thrown some Evelina Tour Series in the past, stuff like that, but at the moment my flippiest one is a Calvin Heimberg 2020 Star Destroyer. Calvin actually gave this to me back in 2024 at the Swedish Open, and it started as an overstable distance driver, but It has since slotted its way down and is now one of my more understable ones, but it still has a lot of that original stability. So it fights the, not fights the wind at this point, but it will fight at the end of a turning flight. So it's not going to turn and burn, it's going to turn and kind of push out at the end. So really good disc to have. We then have two 2021 Calvin Heimberg destroyers, this pink one, a little bit more on that straighter side now, and it flies just real straight, maybe a little turn in the mid-flight and then fades back at the end. Yeah, pushing these out to my max distance. These two discs are probably what I'm going to if I have to throw my farthest shots. Then we have this very overstable Calvin Heimberg Star Destroyer. This is the teal from 2021. One of my absolute favorites, just super beefy. You can throw this thing as hard as you want, as flat as you want, on anhyzer. It's gonna work out of it almost every time. You're gonna have to find some ridiculous wind. I have one more disc that can handle some ridiculous wind because New Zealand and the tour in general has a lot of crazy wind. But this destroyer is absolutely fantastic for the super overstable shots. So keep that in the bag for that reason. Next mold, we have the Emperor. I'm trying this out because it's tough to find some of those destroyers. They're getting a little hard to come by in that 2021 variety, but we have this white one. This Emperor is in that bomber category, kind of alongside that pink destroyer. It flies really nice and long turn, like slight turning lines, and then fades back at the end. I can really get some major distance out of this, and it feels so similar to the destroyer and flies so similar that it's not really worth like splitting the molds up, I guess, but I kind of did anyway. Yeah, so that one's just in the S blend, so standard stock run of the Emperor. And then we have this Halo Metal Flake C blend Emperor, and this is a little bit more on the overstable side. Both of these have some nice dome. This one in particular has a little bit more dome, so really good for those overstable flights. I'd say this is like my go-to, like I need something to just fade. And I want to get a good amount of distance, but I don't want to have to worry about it flipping over. And then obviously it's not going to handle as much wind as maybe the teal destroyer would, but still good and reliable. And then the last disc, we have a S-line or swirly S-blend Conqueror. This thing is like the old PD2 mold from Infinite, and yeah, just absolute beef. So forehands, backhands, any of my like distance shots that need to go a little bit farther than the Fireball or the Draco, this thing comes out and it is just that super reliable, overstable shot. So I can throw as many spike hyzers or flex shots into the wind and count on this disc to work its way out. Yeah. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention here at the end, we have the Mini. This is the Treasures of the Forest Mini. Real special work from Matt Syme. He is a great friend of mine and one of my sponsors. So go pick up an absolutely great piece of art from him. These minis are not just for on the course. They're cool to look at on the shelf, and he does some amazing things. Puts wood in them, honeycomb, anything of that sort, so you can kind of get a little memento from your home course. I think he'll do custom orders if you contact him and hit him up, but he also does trophies and things like that. So yeah, special mini to have. Always nice to have some of that Wisconsin love and charm to the bag. And then, yeah, I don't know, that's about it. Really looking forward to this season. Can't wait to get out on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Foot is getting back to 100%. I'm really hoping that it kind of falls into place in the right way and this season can be really productive for me. So yeah, other than that, go to OTB Discs. You can pick up all of these discs on their site somewhere. I also will have some mystery boxes dropping soon. I'll make an announcement post about that. Keep your eyes peeled for those type of things. And yeah, like that. Really excited this year. Can't wait to get out there, represent the brands, continue to flourish in disc golf in the many respects and ways that I do. So thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. You know, I think it's time we go take a little swim here.